Okay, I just want to take a minute and explain my battle strategy and my technique. So, because I talk about battle, okay, a lot, but it's not like physical battle. Like Zelensky is still doing battle like old school, you know, with like weapons and death and violence, but he's in a different country, and like they have been on the brink of that for many decades, and it finally like went into physicality. Like the energy was there for a long time, and sometimes the energy is too far along to be able to hit it off. Ideally, good leadership, you know, heads off war. Okay, but he just came in when it was already like about to go through kind of thing. But war is like the downstream manifestation. Physical war is a downstream manifestation of poor leadership. You know, good leadership is up here. Good leadership can see war brewing. War does not happen on like the day it is announced. War happens months, years, sometimes decades ahead of time. It brews. It's an energy that develops. There's inner conflict and outer conflicts with the countries. And so that's why physical war is the manifestation, the downstream physical manifestation of poor leadership up here. And so, my battlefield in America, it is a mental battlefield. And where does leadership come from in America, in the US? It comes from speakers, writers, the media, influencers, right? Leadership does not come from government. You know, government is supposed to be a reflection of what the people want. But how do we arrive at a point of what people want? We as people discuss it. We as people discuss it like this, and then that's supposed to filter into the government. The government is supposed to represent what the people want. Hence we have like a House of Representatives and stuff like that. So my technique is fantasy blends fact. Okay, it kind of marries the two. I use a lot of art elements in my work. A lot of satire, like my presentation style. I know people are gonna be like, so the Joan of Arc thing? No, like the Joan of Arc thing is real. The psychic thing is all like real as day. But the presentation style and the reason I use so much dramatization, because I don't have to. I can just do all my videos straightforwardly like this regarding politics. But art is extremely powerful because art, as opposed to like science and statistics, art engages a different part of the brain, right? Like let's say science is here and it's analysis and breaking things down. Art is over here, and art is inspirational. And fantasy, I'm a fantasy writer. I'll get my books published, but right now I'm focused on this. And so I actually literally have a fantasy vibe to the way I present things, because I do this a lot. But the power of fantasy and art is that it involves a different part of the brain. It doesn't involve the statistical, what's the chance of this, analytical, breaking stuff part of the brain. It involves the art part of the brain, which is all about inspiration, and it's about suspending your disbelief. Alright? That's why they say, we're going into a story, we're gonna go watch a movie, we have to suspend our disbelief. We have to release reality to a certain extent and try out something new. And that's kind of how you make change in the world. Because the world is what it is. But in order to create something different, you have to start having a higher vision. And you have to feel inspired. You have to feel like maybe it's possible. And in order to feel that, you have to release this belief, at least for a little bit. Try it on. See how it feels, right? A higher vision, something else. And so, right now, in America, in the United States, what I'm seeing is that people are voting for entertainment. Okay, they want to see entertainment and politics. They like it. It's fun. Entertainment is fun. And entertainment is love. It's inclusion. It's excitement. For example, the whole Donald Trump thing. Donald Trump is an entertainer. He doesn't stand for anything he says. He stands for entertainment. And the greatest wave, the greatest reaction, the greatest entertainment value. And a lot of people are voting for him. Or planning to vote for him. And you can see that at the polls. And you can see that at the rallies. Which begs the question, why? Right? And I'm not here to tell anyone they're doing stuff wrong. I'm here to ask people what their needs are. And I'm here to meet their needs. That's it. So when someone is voting for him, I want to say, why? I don't think there's good options right now at all. Right? But a lot of people are like, but he's so violent, he's so this, he's so that. Okay. But the question is why? Right? The question is why? My job is to ask people's needs and then meet them. And give a slew of options to meet them. So I'm going to talk about Joan of Arc for a second. I have notes here because this is like, I had a migraine and now my brain is kind of splintered post-migraine. So I wrote little notes here so I don't forget what I'm going to say, and I need to get real paper. I don't have paper in the room, which is weird because I'm a writer. So, but anyways, I'm going to talk about Joan of Arc and how what she did was very similar to what I'm doing, except she did it old school, the way Zelensky is doing. She did it on a little literal battlefield, but you know, that was 600 years ago, and I'm trying to prevent that in America. So I'm going to put the camera down because I need my hands. So what she did was, there was the Battle of Orleans, and she showed up, and it wasn't a battle, it was a siege. Okay, the country was locked up, and it was like surrounded by the English, and it was about to fall. And it was a key strategic geographical point in France. And if the siege of Orleans had not gone well, like if the English had won that town, then all of France would have been taken. Okay, England would have eaten France. France would not exist today. Okay. And I'm not here to say if that's good or bad. I'm kidding. The French are gonna be like, what a way! I'm gonna get attacked by baguettes. So. And I cannot withstand the baguette attack because I'm gluten-free. But yeah, more seriously, she broke that siege. That siege had been going on for about 7 months, and she broke it in 7 days. Something like that is the numbers I was reading. Actually, I'm gonna link the articles. There was a really good article I was reading. I'm gonna put it in the description section. It was kind of cool. But essentially what she did is she worked with, I'm checking my notes. She worked with people's morale, okay? She showed up, and so that's what I work with. Like, I increase people's morale and belief that we can do something better. We can have something better, deserve something better, create something better. She showed up to find an army that was losing. Like, they were losing the entire country, okay? And they were in a very stressful city, which if that city fell, it was kind of over. So it was a very stressful time. She found a discouraged army, right? But she turned the tide around. She was a very encouraging and charismatic person, and she always sort of encouraged her troops. She was a good leader in the fact that she minimized the things they struggled with. She reassured them, and she encouraged them to focus on their strengths. She pointed out their strengths, and she brought out their strengths, which is what good leadership is, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many fantasy novels. And so she went, and let's say you have, it's like a speedometer. Okay, so let's say you go and you find your army at 60% functionality. So they're 60% functional in their potential, okay? And let's say you go and you inspire them, and you inspire them to go to 80% of their potential and functionality. Like, just imagine having an entire army go from 60% to 80% functionality, right? And you can do this with inspirational talking. You know, you can put encouragement into people. Okay, so suddenly you have a brand new army. You know, suddenly the army was working different, like they were invincible, like they could not die. And they broke the siege, they took back Orleans, and then they continued on, she continued on with her army to take down quite a few other towns. And yeah, and then there was some burning at the stake. We're not gonna talk about that. But yes, I see in America, I see it as a mental battlefield. I really see the need for the American people. There's some wounds between government and authority, including the police. You hear a lot about the police. So we need to heal the authority issues, and we need to empower people both within their personal lives and within their ability to elect people they want to elect, but not just elect. Because right now, if you look at the presidential election, we don't actually have many candidates. Okay, we need to empower the population of the country to such an extent that we see and we feel that we deserve really, really good candidates. And that we can see them when they appear, and that we can help them rise up when they appear. Because right now, there's a void in leadership. And that's what I do. I'm essentially an inspirational speaker. Okay. That's all I have. Bye.